Hello. Hi everyone. Today we are going to start the second module of embedded system, that is the devices and communication buses for device networks. In that one, first we'll start with the IO ports type, serial and parallel IO ports. First we'll start with the IO ports. First we have to get to know that what is port. What is port? A port is a device to receive the bytes from external peripherals or a devices or a processors or a controllers for reading them later using instruction executed on the processor. Getting? It is port is a one device to receive the bytes from external peripherals for reading them later using instruction executed on the processor. That is a port. A port is a device to send the bytes to external peripherals or devices or processors using instructions executed on the processor. That port is going to connect to the processor using addresses, decoders, and system buses. The processor uses those addresses. Using that one, the processor is going to get the data. A port register addresses for programming the port functions or modes, reading port status, and for writing or reading bytes. See, port is like one small device. Using that one, we are going to send the data and we are going to receive the data, writing the data to the computer system, reading the data to the computer from the computer keyboards or any devices that we can do. That is a port. Port is going to have the some buffer addresses. Through that one, you are going to read the data and you are going to send the data to the devices. See, examples, the serial interfaces, that is SI in 8051, SPI serial peripheral interface in a 68HC11, PPI parallel peripheral interface 8255. These are some examples of the ports. Ports P0, P1, P2 and P3 in the 8085 or PA, PB, PC, PD in the 68HC11, COM port, COM2 ports in the IBM PCs. These are the examples of the ports. See, port is nothing but one device. With using that one, you are going to send the data to the computer, and also you can receive the data from the computers. Port is going to have its own memory that is called as a buffer. Through that buffer, it is going to send the data and receive the data. We'll see what is exactly how the IO ports works. First we'll see what types of the IO ports. Here, IO port types are synchronous serial input, synchronous serial output, asynchronous serial UART input, asynchronous serial UART output, both as input and as output for the modem. These are the some types of the serial ports. See, two types of the ports are there: serial ports, parallel ports. First, we are going to learn the serial ports. In the serial, these are the variants: synchronous serial input, synchronous serial output. Because the ports are going to get the input as well as the send the output. So we are going to take the input output. In that, two variants are there: synchronous and asynchronous. Synchronous means the gap between the bits will be same. See, one bit it is going to send, after 1 second it is going to send the another one bit, after 1 second it is going to send the another one bit. Like that, if the data is transmitting, then it is a synchronous serial, synchronous one. If asynchronous means after one bit sending, it is going to wait for 1 second and send the another one bit. So next bit it is going to use the 2 seconds, 3 seconds. It is going to vary. It is not a fixed one. That is the asynchronous. We are going to learn these things next. Next, the types of the parallel ports. A parallel port, one bit input, parallel one bit output, parallel port, multi-bit input, parallel port, multiple multi-bit output. See, single bit, multiple bits. That is there in the parallel. So, input, output, two variants will be there because ports are going to be working with the input and as well as the output. So, these are the four variants are there in the parallel ports. Next is the first one by one we are going to start seeing the things. Synchronous serial input. See, inter-process data transfer, reading from the CD or a hard disk, audio input, video input, dial tone, network input, transceiver input, scanner input, remote controller input, serial I/O bus inputs, writing to the flash memory using the SDIO. SDIO means Secure Data Association IO based cards. This is the thing. See, got to know these are the examples. We'll see how exactly that serial synchronous serial input will be there. This is the diagram. This is going to show the synchronous serial input device. Here, serial bits and a clock signal used for synchronization of the port input. See, the synchronization means what? The same time bit will be differentiated for the 1 bit, 2 bit, 3 bits. First one bit will be transmitted, after 1 second another one bit will be transmitted, another one bit, like that it will be continuing. So the timing requirement is there. So it is going to use the clock signal. It is going to use that one for the synchronization of the port inputs. And it is going to use the serial bits. See here. See, here this is the D0 to D7. These are the data bits. These are the data bits. They are going to be sent as an input to the serial input port. Here the clock it is going to use, because why it is using the clock means for the synchronization purpose. Synchronization we are going to use the clock. And here I0 to I7. This is the inputs. Here these are the 8 bits input it is going to be giving each time. Serial input bits. Here. First see, at a time it is going to send a 8 bits. So 0 to 7. Total 8 bits it is going to be sending. Here. Serial input port means a circuit to where the bits can be input in successive time interval. The time interval is known to the receiver port. The port assembles the bits on receiving at successive instances. This is the synchronous serial input. Next is the synchronous serial input. How exactly it works? The sender along with the serial bits also sends the clock pulses, that SCLK, that is serial clock, to the receiver port pin. The port synchronizes the serial data input bits with the clock bits. Each bit in each byte as well as each byte in synchronization. Each bit in a byte as well as each byte will be synchronized. Means the time interval between the bits as well as the byte will be same. That is the synchronization here. For that one they are going to use the clock pulses. That is a serial clock. And they are going to synchronize the sender and the receiver's clock. Through that one they are going to get the correct data. Synchronization means separation by a constant interval or a phase difference. If the clock period is equal to t, then each byte at a port is received at an input in a period of 8t. Getting the clock period is t means 1 byte. For 1 byte, how many bits will be there? 8 bits. So it will be 8t. To receiving the 1 byte, it is going to take a 80 time. The bytes are received at constant rates. Each byte at an input port separated by 8t, and data transfer rate for the serial line bits is going to 1 by t bps, bits per second. Got to know this one? Serial synchronous input. serial data and the clock pulse input. On the same input line, when the clock pulses either encode or modulate a serial data input bits suitably. A receiver detects the clock pulses and receives data bits after decoding or demodulating. Whenever you want to send the data, you are going to send the data. You may use the encoding techniques or you may use any demodulating modulating technique. Then in the receiver side, it is going to use the decoding or demodulating technique to get the data on separate input line. When a separate serial clock input is sent, the receiver detects at the middle or positive edge or negative edge of the clock pulses that whether the data input is 1 or a 0 and saves the bits in the 8-bit shift register. The processing element at a port saves the byte at a port register from where the microprocessor reads the byte. Next is the it's not that next we'll go for the synchronous serial output device. Now it is a output device. Previously it was a input device. So we have taken the I0 to I7. Here it is a output device. So we are going to take the O0 to O7. This is going to produce the outputs. Here the data line will be D0 to D7. It is going to produce the serial output port and serial outputs, that is O0 to O7. The data will be saved here in this one, this bits. Here the clock is will be there. Clock is for the synchronization purpose. If it is asynchronous, then the clock will not be there. Here the synchronous is there. It is the clock is there. So they are written this one as a optional one. Next examples we'll see first. What are the synchronous serial outputs are there? Interprocessor data transfer, multiprocessor communication, writing to CD or a hard disk, audio input
Ma'am, your voice
output,
is breaking,
video
ma'am.
input output, dialer output, network device output, remote TV controller, transceiver output, serial I/O bus output, or writing to the flash memory using SDIO. These are the some examples of the synchronous serial outputs. Each byte sent in synchronization with the clock. All the bits will be sent. Here it is a sent. Previously, in the if it is input, then it will be received. Here it is sent. Here it is the output, so it is the data bits will be sent. Each byte is sent in a synchronization with the clock. The bytes sent at constant rates. If clock period is equal to t, then the data transfer rate will be 1 by t bps. Bps means bits per second. A sender either sends the clock pulse at a serial clock pin or sends the serial data output and clock pulse input through the same output line with the clock pulses, either suitably modulate or encoding the serial output bits. It is going to use the modulating or encoding techniques for encoding the things. Here, the processing element at each port sends the byte through a shift register at the port to where the microprocessor writes the byte. Here, one processing element will be there that is going to be send the bytes to the through the shift register at the port where exactly the microprocessor will be connected. A synchronous serial output is used for inter-process transfer between the processor transformation of the data will be there. At the time we are going to use this one. Audio output, streaming data in outputs. For this one, this is a good. Here the serial output ports means a circuit from where the bits can be output or sent in successive time interval. See, successive time interval, that word is very important because the time because of the synchronous data means The time is very important. Time interval between the bits as well as the bytes. The time interval is known to the external device or a system. The external device assembles the bits on receiving at successive instances from the output port. This is about the synchronous serial output. Output means output devices, the data it is going to be sending. If it is input, it is going to receive the data. Synchronous means the time, successive time interval will be equal. The time interval between the bits as well as the bytes, it will be equal. Next, we'll move for the synchronous serial input output. Input output means both it is going to be act as an input as well as an output, this port. It is a combination of that previous synchronous serial input as well as a serial synchronous output. It is going to receive the data as well as it is going to send the data in synchronous manner. Here, each bit in a byte is in synchronization at input, and each bit in each byte is in synchronization at output with the master clock output. The bytes are sent or received at a constant rates. The IOs can also be on same IO lines when input-output clock pulses either suitably modulated or encoded the serial input-output respectively. If the clock period is T, then the data transfer rate will be 1 by T bps. The processing element at the port sends and receives the bytes at a port register to or from where the microprocessor writes or reads the bytes. This is the things are similar to the input and output. Next, we'll move for the asynchronous. Asynchronous serial input and serial input R into D at UART COM port. Asynchronous serial input. Each bit is received in each byte at a fixed interval, but each received byte need not be synchronized. See, each bit in a byte will be synchronized, but each bytes received are not in synchronization. That is a asynchronous serial input. The bytes can separate by the variable interval or the phase differences. That is the asynchronous one. Here we are going to see the elements. What are the things are there in the asynchronous one. Here this is a CS means clock signal. A0, A1, A2. These are the inputs. This is a one machine, this is another one machine, and here there is the UART COM port, universal asynchronous receiver transmitter COM port. Here this is serial port at a modem. Here the data is going to be communicated between these two devices. These are the two devices here. Sending the data and receiving the data. How exactly it will be done? We are going to see with this one. Here, asynchronous serial port line R into D, receive data. Here, why it is receive data? Receive data means it is the input. Input means receiving the data. Does not receive the clock pulses or a clock information along with the bits. Previously, what happened here? One clock will be sent along with the data. Here in the asynchronous, clock will not be sent along with the data. Each bit is received in each byte at a fixed interval. The bits will be sent in a fixed intervals, but bytes are not synchronized. Means in within the each bit the data within the one byte the data will be transferred in 1 second. The bytes one byte may received at a 1 second, another byte may receive at a 3 seconds, another one byte may receive at a 5 seconds. The time variation may be there between the bytes, not the bits. Bytes separated by the variable intervals or a phase differences. Asynchronous serial input, also called as a UART input, if the serial input is according to the UART protocol. We'll see some examples how exactly it works. Asynchronous serial input is used for keypad inputs and modem inputs in computers. Keypad controller, serial data in mice, keyboard controller, modem input, characters, send inputs on serial line. These all are the examples of the serial asynchronous inputs. See, take an example of your keypad. Whenever you want to press the, you want to open anything, you are going to press the key. Otherwise, you won't press the key. This is the asynchronous. This is not a synchronous. Continuous data sending. See, in the video call, continuous data sending will be there. But in the keypads or anything you are going to send the data, you will type sometimes, after sometimes you are going to leave after some 1 hour 2 hour once again you will come and you will type. That is a asynchronous. The bytes will be transmitted for the differences in the time will be there for transmitting the bytes. See, the format of bits at a UART protocol, universal asynchronous receiver and transmitter protocol. We'll see these formats. This is very important one. Here, first bit will be a start bit or a last bit will be a stop bit. This is fixed here. This is a start one. This is the first one is a start bit and the last one is a stop bit. Next, these all are the 8, the here, these all are the data bits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 data bits will be there. Here. 8 data bits will be there. And one additional bit will be there, that is called as a P bit. The additional bit is called as a P bit. This P means programmable bit. You can program this one. That is a P bit. First one is a start bit, it is fixed. And this is a stop bit, this is fixed. And the other one bit is programmable bit, it is optional one. So it is a 10 or 11. See, this 8 bits and plus start bit and the stop bit. Total 10 are fixed. The P bit is programmable and it is a optional one. If you want, you can add, otherwise you can leave. See how exactly it works. Starting point of receiving the bits for each byte is indicated by a line transition from 1 to 0 for a period is equal to 1. That is T. The starting point, you see here the starting point 1 to 0. A starting point of receiving the bits for each byte is indicated by a line transition from the 1 to 0 for a period is equal to T. If the sender's shift clock period is equal to T, then a byte at the port is received at a input in period is equal to 10T or 11T. Why it is 10 to or 11T? Because in a UART protocol, it is going to use the 10-bit data transmission format, 10-bit or 11-bit. So previously it was using the, in the synchronous serial input output, it is going to use the 8 bits for transmitting the data. So it is the 8T or 80 only. Here in the UART, it is going to use the 10T or 11T. That is because of this one. 10T or 11T. receiver detects n bits at the interval of t from the middle of the start indicating bit. That is n is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, 10 or 11 and finds whether the data input is 1 or 0 and saves the bits in an 8-bit shift register. It is going to save the data in the 8-bit shift register. First it is going to consider this one as a start bit and the last one it is going to consider as a stop bit and the other one is p bit. Only that the data input is there, no, that it is going to be saving in the 8-bit shift register. What shift register will be there? The data whatever it is going to store, that will be in the 1 or a 0 format. Processing element at the port saves the byte at a port register from where the microprocessor reads the bytes. See, processing element for every device will be having one processing element. That processing element of a port, what it is going to store? It is going to store the data bytes at a port register from where the microprocessor is going to take the data byte. Asynchronous input serial port line. Now we'll move for the output one. See, all of you got to know how exactly this works. Asynchronous UART protocol. See, this format means you have to explain that this, you have to draw the diagram and you have to explain that this is a start bit, stop bit, and the P means programmable bit. This is the optional one, and the 8-bit data will be there and will going to send to the receiver. See, asynchronous serial output. Asynchronous output serial port line will be T into D. That is transmit data. Each bit in each byte transmit at a fixed interval, but each output byte is not in synchronization. Getting the meaning? See, in the one byte, 8 bits will be there. That 8 bits will be transmitted in synchronization. Synchronization means what? The time difference between the bits will be equal. In that format, it is going to send the data bits in the byte. But each bytes are going to be transmitted at a variable interval or a phase differences. That is the asynchronous. A minimum separation is one stop bit interval. The minimum difference between the one byte to another byte will be a one, that stop bit. Previously we have seen the start bit, stop bit. One stop bit is minimum that should be there between the one byte to another byte. Does not send the clock pulses along with the bits. It is not going to send the clock pulses because of it is asynchronous. Sender transmits the bytes at a minimum interval of n into t. N into t. N means that number of the bits which is going to be transmitted. Bits receiving start from the middle of the start indicating bit. Whenever the data bits is going to be starting, then the first bit will be a start bit, last bit will be a stop bit, middle will be a data bits. Here n is equal to 0, 1, 2 up to 11, 10 or 11 because of p bit is optional and sender sends the bits through a 10 or 11 bit shift register. The processing element at the port sends the byte at the port register to where the microprocessor is to write the bytes. Microprocessor is going to write the data to the port register. From that port register, the processing element is going to take the data because it is an output device. The synchronous serial output is also called as a UART output if a serial output is according to the UART protocol. Some of the examples we'll see: output from modem, output for printer, the output on a serial line. These are the some of the examples. Next is the half duplex. What is a half duplex? Half means bidirectional. Bidirectional half duplex serial port. Half duplex means that at an instance the communication can only be one way, or input, or it may be output, on a bidirectional serial line or a parallel line. Example for this half duplex mode: it is telephone communication on one telephone line. The talk can only in the half duplex way. See, anyone is talking at the time, other person cannot talk. One person will be talking, after completion only next person can talk. That is a half duplex one. See, full duplex means at an instance the communication can be both way, on unidirectional serial line or a parallel lines. That is a full duplex one. Next is the parallel port single bit input. Next we'll move for the parallel ports. A parallel port can have a m bit inputs, output, IO and bidirectional IO where m is equal to 1 to up to 8. This is the parallel port. In the parallel port also we are going to have the variation serial, parallel input, serial, parallel output. Many we have seen. We'll go one by one. A parallel port single bit input. First we will see the parallel port single bit input. Completion of a revolution of a wheel, that is going to achieving the preset pressure in a boiler, that exceeding the upper limit of permitted weight over the pan of an electronic balance, presence of a magnetic piece in the vicinity of or within reach of a robot arm to its end point, and filling of a liquid up to a fixed level. This is this. See, parallel port single bit input means a single bit will be transmitted. Single bit will be transmitted in this one. How exactly it works, we'll see. First, we'll see the examples. Through that one, we'll explain interprocessor data transfer reading from the. Sorry, one second. See, assume that a set of m bits are serially as well as parallelly transmitted such that a subset of a m by 2 bits can be output in parallel at an instance. See, if the clock period is t, then each subset of m by 2 bits at the port is output or received at a input in two successive time interval. It means that the set of m bits transmits a set of m bits transmits in output or receives in input in a period is equal to 2t. See, each byte receives at external devices at constant rates but 4 times faster than the 4 parallel lines that are used for serial transmission of two subsets of 4 bits each. ADC input bits from liquid level measuring sensor, temperature sensors, pressure sensor, speed sensor, or a DC motor, RPM sensor, encoder input for bits for angular position of rotating shift or a linear displaceable of the object. These are the some of the examples of the parallel input port. Next is a parallel output port, that is PWM output for a DAC, which controls the liquid level or temperature, pressure or speed, angular position. These are the some of the examples. Parallel port input multi-bit. ADC input from liquid level pressuring sensor or a temperature sensor or a pressure sensor or a speed sensor or a DC motor RPM sensor. These are the some of the example multi-bit. The multi-bit parallel port output examples are LCD controller for a multi-lane LCD display matrix unit in a cellular phone to display on the screen the phone number, time, messages, character in outputs or a pictogram, bit images for displaying screen or email or web pages, printer controller output, stepper motor coil driving outputs. These are the some of the examples of that one. Parallel port input output. The examples are PPI 8255 touch screen in a mobile. These are the some of the examples of the parallel port input output. In the next class, we'll see the serial communication devices. See, parallel means multiple bits will be transmitted at a time. In a parallel input, output, IOs, and these things will be there. This completes the IO types.